So Plastic Man, a character who was once thought to be immortal, is dying. After he's hit by a supervillain's death ray, Plastic Man's body starts to slowly fall apart, and he soon realizes that the same thing could happen to his son one day, so he starts searching for a solution. And as crazy as it seems, Plastic Man's solution is to build a nuclear bomb. So let's see what happens in Book 2 of Plastic Man No More. Book 2 starts in Plastic Man's apartment, and we see that he's brought in his old partner in crime, Woozie, to help him gather the materials needed to build his bomb. Even though Woozie agrees to help Plastic Man, he's really confused. I mean, they're planning a heist, they're planning a kidnapping. After everything Plastic Man's gone through to rehabilitate himself, why not just go to the Justice League for help? Plastic Man explains that he's tried going to the League. They all think he's a joke and nobody took him seriously. And besides, this isn't about Plastic Man, this is about his son and making sure Luke doesn't have to go through the same experience. The explanation is enough for Woozie, and he understands why Plastic Man is doing this, but he's still really confused about the plan and why they have to go after the Metal Men. Plastic says that it's not all of the Metal Men, it's just one, Uranium Man. He needs his body as fuel to make the bomb. Plastic Man explains that now is the perfect opportunity to kidnap the Uranium Man because he's already been kidnapped by a supervillain named Dr. No-Face. As a way to justify their actions, Plastic Man tells Woozie that they're essentially rescuing the Uranium Man from Dr. No-Face. It's not a real kidnapping. They are heroes, after all. Woozie is still apprehensive about the plan though, and he asks Plastic Man what happens to the Uranium Man after they use his body for fuel. Plastic Man tells Woozie not to worry. If there's even a trace amount of the Metal Men left, they can be remade. They basically can't die. But he can, and so can Luke. The next day, Plastic Man goes to the Justice League headquarters and asks the Metal Men for help in rescuing Uranium Man. But halfway through the meeting, Plastic Man sneezes and we see that his condition has gotten significantly worse than it was before. Even though Plastic Man looks sicker by the day and he just blew his insides all over the table, all he has to do is make one joke and the League busts out laughing. So Plastic Man was right. None of the League thinks there's anything wrong with him and they all think that he's a big joke. Everyone except for Bobo, who meets Plastic Man outside and asks him how he's handling his condition. Plastic Man lies and says he's come up with a cure for his condition and all he needs is a little bit of time. And to this, Bobo just says, okay, but if you need some help, I'm around. The next day, we see Plastic Man and Woozie head to Dr. Vera's apartment. Dr. Vera explains that trying to cure Plastic Man this way is like threading a needle. Too much one way and he's instantly vaporized. Too much the other way and he turns into a useless mass of flesh. And finally, she tells Plastic Man that she refuses to help him. Plastic Man is relentless, and he says that this isn't for him, this is for his son, and that she wouldn't understand because she doesn't have kids of her own. After hearing this, Dr. Vera starts crying, and Plastic Man realizes that he made a mistake. Dr. Vera explains that she had a daughter. There was an accident, and her daughter got severely hurt. Her and her husband tried to hold on, tried to keep her daughter alive for as long as they could, but eventually they realized that they had to let go. Not a day goes by that she doesn't wonder what else they could have done to save their daughter. Plastic Man then tells her that he's going to have the uranium by tomorrow and they already have an unpopulated area to do this. No one will get hurt. The issue then cuts to Dr. No-Face's hideout and we see him and Uranium Man just sitting around playing poker. In the middle of their game, Plastic Man and the Metal Men crash through the roof and attack Dr. No-Face. Dr. No-Face's henchmen try to put up a fight, but against the Metal Men, there's really no chance. Plastic Man then asks Woozie if he has everything set up on the roof, and Woozie says everything is in place, they just have to get Uranium Man into the truck. Plastic then goes down into the battle, grabs Uranium Man, and then calls out to the Metal Men to retreat. But on the way out, Plastic Man calls out to Woozie and he says now, and Woozie activates a giant magnet which is supposed to pin all of the Metal Men to the floor, but Plastic Man and Woozie didn't realize that only one of the Metal Men is actually magnetic, so it really has no effect. Metal Men realize that Plastic Man tried to lure them into a trap and they start attacking Plastic Man, and out of desperation, Plastic Man calls out to Woozie for help. Now, Woozie has no idea how he's going to help in a battle against the Metal Men, but while he's thinking, the magnet is still going full blast and it starts pulling the screws out of the bridge, which causes the bridge to fall apart, sending all of the Metal Men hurtling into this vat full of molten metal. Plastic Man is able to save Uranium Man before he falls into the vat of metal, but he's not able to save any of the other Metal Men. and the metal men just scream in agony as they're melted down in the vat of molten metal. Plastic Man and Uranium Man are watching the entire scene unfold, and all Uranium Man can say is, "Wow, you killed them. You killed them all." Woozy then rushes up to Plastic Man screaming, "No way. You said if there was even a trace amount left, they could be rebuilt. You said it's been done zillions of times. I didn't kill them. They're not dead, right?" But Plastic Man doesn't answer. He just looks at the vat of metal with a look of pure terror on his face as he remembers what he told Dr. Vera. "No one will get hurt. I promise." And that was book 2 of Plastic Man No More. So far, a phenomenal series. It's really great that we're seeing the de-evolution of a hero like Plastic Man into being like the criminal that he once was. And it's not even for an evil reason. He just wants to help his son. But let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about Plastic Man No More so far? And if you like this video, please follow if you want to see more.